So today I want to bring you a story, and this one is kind of personal. Back December 17th of 2000, when people talk about your life flashes before your eyes, it's totally true. It happened to me. I was in a really bad car wreck. And the way that everything had happened is what I want to tell you about. My baby mama, or my ex at the time, had just split up. Probably about October-ish at this point. And I was staying with my mom and my dad, trying to get my life back together, trying to be able to rebuild what it was that I had as a life. I'm staying with my parents. I've got a set of twins, and now I'm not with their mom. Like, all this stuff's getting thrown at me. And mind you, at the time, at that stage of my life, I wasn't in a very healthy state of mind. I was mad at the world. You have all these responsibilities that you have as a parent, and now, being the age that I am, which is 20 years old, not really realizing exactly what it is to step up to that level that you need to be at in order to be a parent. It was really tough. But after the accident happened, my life changed completely. My cousin James, who hopefully within the next sometime this month I can get him on here and we'll just bullshit, maybe even do a podcast or something, but he was in the military at the time. He was in the Navy, and he was up for a visit and called me up, heard what had been going on, and said, "Hey, I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna get you." So we take off. We head over to his dad's house. We, go out to the bar, visit friends, so on and so forth. It's basically having a good time. The second night that I'm down there, it's really bad out. And I'm basically laying down on the floor in my uncle's house watching Gone in 60 Seconds. That's the last thing I can remember doing before we went for a ride. Just tearing up the countryside in the snow, having a grand old time in his S10 extended cab. I was driving for a bit, and I honestly felt nervous. And usually when I drive, I don't feel nervous. I don't. I'm a very good driver. I actually, for a living, taught people how to drive equipment. So for me to feel uncomfortable about something was off, something was odd. Jamie, Jimmy, I called him Jamie at the time. He likes to be called Jimmy now, but my cousin Jim, it was his truck, got into the driver's seat. We start taking off down the countryside, having a good old time again. I get tired, so I start taking a cat nap in the back part of the actual extended cab part. So basically my back is up against his left side of the truck, and my feet are pointed towards the right. His fiance at the time is sitting in the passenger seat too. I remember us coming up a hill and hearing my cousin James go, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." I remember waking up, the truck's coming down the road, and now it's starting to pitch sideways. And when it pitches sideways, where my feet are pointed, where my body's technically pointed at the truck, is now rotating towards the way that we're moving, which isn't natural. And all I hear is people yelling, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." And all I can remember doing is looking at this tree coming at the truck, and that's the last thing that I remember about the movement of the truck or whatever happened. Now, all of this, the accident, in my mind, isn't the last thing that took place. Isn't the earliest thing that took place. I literally, in my head, go through my earliest memory, and I literally replay every memory in my life right there until we start getting close to the accident, and then this song starts coming in from the background, and it's a Sevendust song, because Sevendust was the CD that was in stereo, and it's on a loop. This one part's on a loop. It just keeps coming, and it keeps coming, and it keeps coming, and it's like you, almost as if this thing's pulling you into reality, and then pretty soon you wake up and you realize what the fuck just happened. And at that moment, I wake up. I smell hot oil. I smell hot metal. I hear a horn going off. I hear the Sevendust CD constantly on repeat. And I open up my eyes. And the truck is literally like molded from the passenger seat back towards me. That whole part of the truck is like indented in and then over me. And I'm looking and I'm like, I can't move. I go try to move, taking my right hand and putting it on the floor and then going to go move. And my hip was in so much pain. I literally thought like I pulled my leg out of the socket. That's what it felt like. And it was so excruciatingly painful. I almost passed out. Right after that happens, I look over the passenger seat where my cousin's fiance was at. I look over and she's not moving. I look over to Jamie's seat, which is directly to my left. I'm directly behind his seat, and he's gone. His car door's open, the windshield's smashed, the airbag has been deployed and it's draped over, and the steering wheel's like in this weird position. I instantly think he must have got thrown from the truck. Something happened to him. He's gone. And I get in a lot of pain in my upper arm region. But I knew my arm was just, it was shot. Something had happened to it. It was bad. In that moment, when you realize that you don't have control over the outcome of the situation, you're basically put into this hopeless scenario. And you start to think. You think about your kids, you think about your life, you think about your choices. The only thought that I had was, I'm done. And at that moment, I gave up on life. I do believe in God. I have for a long, long time. Ever since I was a kid. And at that moment, I gave it all to God. I said, here I am with all my indiscretions, all my imperfections. And I'm begging and pleading with you, God, just to take care of my kids. Take care of my kids and let them grow up knowing that I loved them. And then I'm sorry that I'm not here anymore. Giving up in that moment is probably one of the hardest things I've mentally had to get over in my life, knowing that I gave up, because I'm not a quitter. That's the one thing I'm not. If it needs to be done, I'll get it done. I'll figure out a way. I've been known for that. And in that one moment, I gave my life up. It almost is like I committed suicide, or almost like I told myself at that point that I didn't want to do this anymore. But you gotta realize at that moment, there's no hope. There's nobody coming. There's no fire trucks. Nothing. So I simply just put my head back and I closed my eyes.